Alright, hope everybody's doing well. Just wanted to share with you a few things here, and you may not have known this, but on the 1st of this October, Russ Francis died in a plane crash with another person, a passenger. I guess he was the AOPA Air Safety Institute Vice President. They were killed in a plane crash in Lake Placid, New York, and they crashed into a ravine while trying to get back to the airport. I never got this guy TTM or autograph request. I'm not exactly sure why, but this is always one of my favorite cards for whatever reason. I know some people don't like the non-football helmet cards, but unfortunately, Topps would have had to airbrush out the logos, and they look ridiculous without the logos on the football helmet. So unfortunately, he passed away, died at the age of 70. That was quite unfortunate that happened. Before I get into what I got today, I was watching this trash picking video. This is Taco Stacks. I've mentioned him numerous times in my videos over the years, I think. And he basically has a van, drives around different cities, and grabs all the garbage that's on the curb. And he finds everything from metal, antiques, leftovers from garage sales, furniture. And there's a lot of people in the comments that post, hey, why didn't you grab that? Why didn't you grab that? You should have grabbed that. You should have grabbed that. And I'm saying that all the time because in my particular area, if there was anything that was usable that left on the curb, it would probably be gone. Everybody wants everything. He left these apple picking buckets in this frame here, and then this smaller box right here. He grabbed this garden rake here, but there was a box of smaller kind of really cool looking tools in there, and he left all of them. But he does swap meets and stuff, so I mean, that's easily $5 bill right in there in that box there. I mean, it's funny because these apple picking buckets, that would be easily $7 to $10 each, at one of the local antique malls here at the very least. And that's just unfortunate. They do get a lot of rain over where he's at, so there's a lot of items that are completely destroyed. People put out dressers, and I know a guy who makes, $70 to $100 on a lot of the dressers that he gets at the Goodwill outlet. And he would be shocked at how much furniture this guy leaves behind. It's funny because when you have a different mindset, like in sports cards or any kind of venture that you do, sometimes you're throwing away a $70 bill when you can but then somebody is gladly accept a $5 bill, if that makes sense. So sometimes you put in a little bit of extra work and you get more money, and other times you're just going to make, that low $5 bill. That's quicker and easier to do. He said that a lot of furniture doesn't sell well in his area, but it sells like hotcakes over here, so I don't know. I have no clue. I guess, I don't know, maybe people on the East Coast just have it all. And they do, probably. On the West Coast, we need more of it. So the next thing I have here, if I can get to my main screen here, we'll just use that one here. I got one postcard in from, I'm not 100% sure if it was just a collector's card, but I use it as a postcard. This is from Bleach. It's some sort of anime series. I had one of the discs or DVDs, and that was in there. It was one of the bonus items there. And so I said, you know what, I'm just going to send that. And they sent it in a nice envelope so it wouldn't get ruined. Rio Vista, California has nicely canceled both of my stamps there. So that's very cool of them to do that. And nice, now, collector's item there. People say, oh, ruined but I don't care. Anyway, that's what that is. So now I got one other thing here. I got one autograph request here, and this is from none other than, I guess you would call him TTM legend, Frank DiPino. So there's Frank DiPino on a 1990 Topps from the junk wax era. There's nothing that anybody can do or say to change anybody's mind about what this era was called. I don't know if that term was around before I even knew about YouTube. I don't know what it is, but I just basically called them, they were just, cards from cards from the 80s and 90s cards. And I guess that's what I call them, 90s cards. And I kind of, conglomerated, early 2000s and late 80s into that. I just said these are just 90s cards, 90s era. That's what I called them. Then I got this Frank DiPino. It's kind of in the dark spot there, but he signed it on this Astros card from 85 Topps there. put it in a penny sleeve because that's how I'm storing the set. No, I do not have the complete set. Why would I have a complete set of anything, really? It doesn't make sense. You know, you try to build a set and then you're like, I just spent over $100 and the set is $35. You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. I don't know what a set of 85 tops is anymore, but I have, you know, 75% or more probably of the set, and then it's going to cost me at least that to get finish that off. You know, missing McGuire, which is not super expensive anymore, but that's just one of those deals. And then I got one more Frank DiPino card. His name was spelled wrong on this one here. If I polled everybody in the YouTube group that they probably have never seen this card, and have they ever thought of this card, and they have never sent this card, and they didn't even think to check on COMC that was only like 44 cents for this card. It was something like between 44 and 55 cents on sale, and there is a 1978 Frank DiPino on the Burlington Bees. They spelled it D-E Pino instead of D-I Pino. So there's that one there. I'll show you one of the backs of it here. These are just back on the back page there. And I know it's a sacrilege to do that, but these are my cards. I've never once, I think, ruined a card by double backing. I may have stretched the page, but I never hurt the card. So it's okay for me to do that. And there is the back of the card. It had a little bit of toning to it. But you know what, these cards are super hard to get, but it was only 50 cents essentially, and nobody even seemed to notice or care. So there's that one there. You can see at a quick glance some of the other ones I have here. Tommy Sant on the Beavers. I got Ron Hassey catcher. I got John Pacella right there. John Pacella. That was not the one I had when I was a kid, but it was funny because those cards were prevalent except for the fact that they weren't prevalent, if that makes sense. So like John Pacella and Ron Hassey, those are ones that just showed up nationwide in those blister packs sort of thing, or the Sears type of things. You would see those exact same cards over and over again. So, you know, maybe it was just distributed regionally differently or what have you. But those are the ones that I always saw. Ivan Calderon's rookie card, or pre-rookie card, was in that. And you saw that all the time, and he was a known quantity because he was a halfway decent ball player. So his card, you know, went up to $1 at some point, or maybe it was $2. I really don't remember. But again, you would see certain set cards, but you would only see those ones because they were distributed nationwide. And what they did was they took sets and they laid them all together probably, and then they had stacks of the exact same cards so they could draw from the same cards. So some cards are really ridiculously hard to find because they didn't get distributed nationally, and some got distributed nationally, so that's why the Ron Hassey and the Pacella are all over the place for sale, but some of these are not. These were bought as complete sets. Some of the sellers screwed up and shipped me a set missing or two a card. And then of course the funny thing is that I get some of these sets in here like the Elmira Pioneers, or I don't know who these guys are. Some is that Elmira? No, it is the Redwood Pioneers. And then like you get some of these in here, and every once in a while you're missing a card or get one sent off TTM, and then somebody wants the exact same price for the one card when you can get the entire set. These were done what we call Geez Mikey auction style, I believe, and I picked out a lot of the sets that were not bid on, is essentially what it was. I could, and as low as those prices went, I could have got a lot more. Here's a Durham Bulls set here. And you go to Star Tiger and Sports Card Forum and find out that none of these people are in there. You're never going to find Miguel Sosa, Mike Garcia, Kevin Rigby, Ken Scanlon, Tommy Thompson. Interestingly enough, a lot of people think the movie was based on the Durham Bulls from that relatively the similar time period. So you see these guys think they were all the kind of jokers, but I think the guy that had his experiences, I forget who that was all about. That was prior experiences from a decade or so before that. So it was kind of interesting that these guys get kind of their a little more popular than I guess they needed to be. I don't know. But here's Dirty Al Gallagher. I think that's kind of cool. There's old Dirty Al Gallagher. He's since passed away, so I can't get him. But again, some of these I don't think... Brad Comments might sign, but I'm not sure if I wanted to send him out. I don't know. And just don't want to lose a card that's from a complete set there. And these are in the plastic pages that everybody hates, the ones that stick together. But they don't seem to bother the cards that are not glossy. So these don't These don't have any problems with any damage so far, or if you put shiny chrome cards in there, they're going to get stuck and goofed up there. But I don't, and these pages were also free, so I took them. Here's a Mike Mendoza. There's that one, and there's another John Pasella there. I guess I had ordered that one separately through eBay or COMC. It was this Dodgers set here, I believe, that was missing one here. The Vero Beach Dodgers, I think is what it is. There was one card that was missing. I can't remember if I got two of the same card or what happened. I should have looked to see if there was any error cards there, but trying to track down that one card is impossible. And the funny thing is, a lot of these cards were in color, but there were also ones in black and white. So a very unusual set, but they supposedly all have corresponding numbers. I don't know how. I mean, these are all like multi-thousand card sets, they're between 900 and 1,000 plus cards in there. There's just no way. Even if you're building them at 20 odd cards a time, whatever, 20 to 30 cards in a team set there, take 1,000 and subtract 30 cards from it, and that's like 970 odd, and it just really just goes on forever and ever and ever. So I think that's pretty much it for what I have here. I know I had some other stuff come in, but that's all that matters. I'm sending off a letter to John Lawler, who was an actor. He played, I think, the headmaster in, or the principal in Facts of Life for this first season or two, and he was in numerous other TV programs. I guess he's, according to what I read, he's appearing in something. I don't know what it is, but so I have an 8x10 envelope going off to him, and then I think I had a couple other 8x10s floating around here, but I don't know where they went, so that's for another day. We'll get that organized one of these times, and all of those will be sent off here. So that is what I have for today. Let me know if I forgot something, missed anything, and thank you for watching.